Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a quick install video on a tail tidy and some LED turn signals. Now, quick disclaimer, if you're not into tinkering or doing DIY or being hands-on, go ahead and buy a plug-and-play kit and make your life easier. I, on the other hand, like to make things work, and I was able to do all of this for about 50 bucks. Here are the parts I bought. As with things on Amazon, you could probably find about 10 different ones if you just search a similar description. Here are the things that I got. Here's a flasher that you need to fix the signal rate, and here's the tail tidy or the Fender Eliminator. First things first is get the headlight off. It's only 4 bolts, it's not too hard. You do kind of have to work the headlight loose, as on the left side there's a little nub right here on the upper left there, where you have to work it off of the headlight. But once you get that, it pops right off. And to get the signal light off, you just remove one single screw on the back of the turn signal. And you can see it already is coming loose. So next thing is just to get the wiring free. So there's a removable zip tie here and a rubber cover. Go ahead and work that all loose and work the cover upwards, and you'll expose the wiring. You can see I already did the left side of the bike, so we'll go ahead and do the right side. Pro tip, this black plug right here is actually 12 volt that's switched with ignition, so if you need power for a USB charger or something, that'd be a spot to get it. Alright, once you got the connector loose, you can work off the rubber boot off of the turn signal. Now grab a pry tool or a screwdriver and separate a metal bracket that's in between the turn signal mount and the turn signal. You can see it right here. Once that's done, all you have to do is work the wiring through the rubber boot and pull that all through. Alright, the only parts that we need to reuse are the rubber mount and the metal bracket. Everything else you can chuck in the trash. So I'll go ahead and take my new signal light and start feeding the wires through. Once I got that done, go ahead and work the stock into the mount as well. Then I'll use a pry tool again to push down the rubber mount as far as I can to expose as much of the threads on the turn signal as I can. Then just snug up the nut. I did use a wrench on it, but I didn't tighten it too much. I just went ahead and snugged it down. Then I just remounted the turn signal by feeding the wires through and pushing the rubber mount back into the OEM turn signal mount. And here's that bracket we're using. It's that metal bracket that the screw goes into on the back of the turn signal. Then I pushed the wiring through the OEM rubber boot and went ahead and fished that all back into the OEM locations. Here's the cheat sheet on the wiring. I went ahead and just chopped off the OEM connector. You got the signal light, the ground, and the running light, and that corresponds to these wires on the new signal light, at least on the ones I got from Amazon. Double check yours. And here's the left side. Now the rear is going to be basically identical to the front, but I'll go ahead and show you real quick how to access the back, and it's just by removing the rear seat and popping off the rear fender. So by working the side covers loose after removing the rear seat, the fender should come loose. And you can see all the connectors under the clear rubber protector there. There's the back all buttoned up with harness tape, getting things all cleaned up. And here's our first test, and you can see I haven't installed the signal relay yet, so that's why it's flashing all funny. So let's go ahead and remove the side cover by removing that one screw, and there's one plastic rivet up top, and the side cover will pop off. And then this little black box here is the signal flasher. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that off and unplug it. On the new signal flasher, I went ahead and wired up some spade connectors to connect to the OEM plug. And there's two terminals on here. One's marked B and one is marked L. So the one marked B goes into that leftmost connector there, and that's for the battery or the actual signal, voltage signal. And the one marked L goes into the middle pin, and that's going to actually be the load, or it's going to go out to the signal lights from your turn signal switch. I used heat shrink and then some harness tape to secure everything, and then went ahead and adjusted it and tested it until I was happy with the speed that it flashed. A little bit more harness tape, and there's actually still a clip on the back so you can attach it to the OEM location. Alright, let's check out the Fender Eliminator. So unboxing it, it comes with a pretty nice LED light. And here's the main bracket. It's got a lot of articulation so you can adjust it to where you want it to fit. To remove the OEM fender, there's only 3 bolts, 2 right here and 1 in the back. Now the mounting bracket that came with the Fender Eliminator is a little too wide, so I took an angle grinder and went ahead and made it fit. And for the LED light wiring, there's a little hole that exists on the back here that I fed it through. And here's how you wire it up with the OEM connector that I clipped off. I used the 2 OEM bolt locations and mounted it all up. I played with the different screws to articulate the thing until I was happy where it's at. And here it is. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions or you want some help with your own install. See you next time.